been asked for? Why am I in the works?
That is a very good question, Edward. I bought a Topham hat here. I wanted to see you.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hello, Redwood. So, how's the repairs gone?
I feel a little worse than before what happened that got me in here.
Oh, well, sorry about that, Edward.
Well, you see, you had a rather bad crash, and because your parts aren't made very often anymore, and Victor's the only is part of the Sodor Steamworks, which is one of the only locations that make engine parts for engines that have been since scrapped and they are extinct. He hasn't got round to making your parts, yet it's highly unlikely he'll be able to make them.
Oh dear.
Well, what should I do? And what happened?
Well, apparently, if according to Neil, you were taking a straight train, and well, he tried to pull in a steel train, and he went over the points, and didn't know you were coming down the line. You came rushing down the line, attempted to brake, and then crashed into his train, and you got knocked out.
Oh dear. So, what works am I in?
Craven Skates. But anyway, you'll be going to the sheds, and then be staying there for the rest of the day and the night, and then you'll be going to Napford to do some shunting. I don't want you to pull the train just yet, because it could upset your rebuilds, and I want to see if it's done well for you. Alright, sir. Henry? Yes? Take him to the sheds, please. And Sir Topham got into Henry's cab. Yes, sir. So Henry coupled up to Edward, and then rushed him back to Tootsmith. Soon Henry reached Tootsmith, and he shunted Edward into the shed. I'm so sorry to hear about your crash, Edward. It's alright, Henry. I don't think much can be done at my age. Well, hopefully you can still stay in working service. Well, my parts aren't made anymore, and even if they did, I don't think you would agree with how I work, since I'm very old. But if Victor could get Stephen into working order, why can't he do it for you? I don't know, Henry, but I am a K2 and my class is extinct by now, and well, apart from me, who's left? But I think it's highly unlikely that there will be any more parts left for me, Henry. Alright, Edward. Well, I'll get to taking my trains. Goodbye, Edward. Goodbye, Henry. And Henry left the shed, feeling very sad. Soon Henry arrived at Napford and pulled up beside Rosie, who's shunting for the week. Hello, Daisy. Rosie. Sorry, Rosie.
Oh, that's alright, Henry. Why are you looking so sad?
Well, Edward's returned, but I still feel bad for his accident.
Nah, don't feel bad, Henry. So, how is Edward?
He's alright. He's going to rest in the shed for today and for the night, and then he'll come to help you in the yards tomorrow.
Oh, I'm excited, Henry. I actually get to work with Edward for once.
Yes, Rosie. Where's my train?
Oh, it's on platform 5.
Okay, thank you, Rosie.
You're welcome, Henry.
And Henry puffed over to platform 5.
But firstly, Henry filled up on water. Little did he know, the water was bad. Soon Henry coupled up to his goods train. Rosie whistled goodbye, Hemi replies with a whistle, and he steams out of Napford. That night, everyone came. James, Gordon and Emily came to Tootsmith sheds to see Edward there. It was a surprise to them, but they were all very happy to see him back, and so was Edward. While Hemi was still worried for Edward, when he saw Edward happy and the other engines happy, he knew that he should be happy too. They had missed Edward for the weeks that he had been in the works for. We're so glad to have you back, Edward, after you being in the works for 12 weeks. Yes, we are, Edward. I'm so glad you're back, Edward. Someone really does need a little bit of help in the yard. Well, I'll be sure to help her, said Edward. Well, I think we better get some sleep. We have a long day ahead of us tomorrow, Henry said. You're quite right there, Henry, Edward said. And soon they all went to sleep. In the morning, Edward woke up first, and his driver and fireman came early to start up his fire. The fire struggled to start, but it eventually started, and Edward was soon ready to get out of Tootsmith sheds. Alright, time to go and help Rosie, Edward said, as he reached out, not a lot, but some steam. He steamed out of Tootsmith and over to Napford. As Edward wheezed and whistled in, he eventually arrived at Napford, and he saw Rosie up early. I wasn't expecting you to be awake now, Edward smiled as he saw Rosie with a big smile, which made him smile. Yes, I wanted to learn from you, Edward. We've never worked together before. Well, I may not be the best at the moment, like I used to be, you could say, but because I've had to be repaired. But let's get to work, shall we, Rosie? Yes, Edward. So I'll set the express up. You set up the first goods train of the day, Edward ordered. Yes, Edward, Rosie said, and Edward steamed off to get the express. Soon, Edward brought the express coaches onto the platform, ready for when Gordon came to collect them. And Rosie brought some mail vans up to platform 5. While Edward set up some of the heavier trains, while Rosie sorted out some of the lighter trains. They had finished setting up the trains just as the sun finished rising into the sky, and all the big engines came to Napford to collect their trains. Well, thank you, Edward and Rosie. Oh, I suppose I now have to take the mail that Percy's missed. Oh well, it's not that bad. Emily, you get to see the whole island. I suppose so, Edward. Oh, thank you, Edward and Rosie, for giving me my splendid coaches. Even though they're not great, even though they're not red, they're still splendid. You're welcome, James. Thank you, Edward and Rosie, for setting these trains up. You're welcome, Henry. I will say, Edward, did you set up my express coaches? Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Gordon. Well, thank you, Edward. They are very nice, I'll say. Did you get new ones, or were they polished? I think they were polished, Gordon. I could have been fooled for thinking they're new ones. Thank you, Edward. You're welcome, Gordon. And soon the 4 big engines steamed away. Soon Edward and Rosie got back to work setting up trains for the rest of the day. And before they knew it, the day was nearing its end. And Edward was getting up Edward was setting up one of his last trains of the day before they had to go on break. So we're on break now, I assume, said Rosie. Well, I think I have a couple more trains to do. But this is Henry's Night Express, just before he does the Flying Kipper. This goes over to Vickerstown, and then I'm pretty sure I never asked Henry what his schedule was for this. Well, hopefully Henry will come soon, Rosie said. Yes, hopefully. I just hope he does not stay in his shit again. I heard the forecast will include rain. Oh, what's his history with rain, Edward? Well, he once ran into a tunnel because of the rain. Oh dear, Rosie said. Henry had just woken up from his nap, which he was taking so he could take his night express train to Vickerstown. But there was an issue. The water he had taken on the day before had sludge in it, and this was blocking up Henry's system to consume the water. His driver and fireman went and checked what the issue was. What was the issue? Henry said, as if he had a blocked nose. Well, said his driver, you see, just tell me, Henry said. You see, you had the water you had taken on yesterday. You apparently had sludge in it, and now you can't consume water. Sadly, Henry will have to clean it out before you can get out this shed. But my train is meant to start soon, Henry said. Well, unfortunately, you will not be able to start immediately today. Ugh, Henry said. I'll have to tell Sir Topham Hatt about this issue, said his driver. Mr. Fireman, mate, get to work on cleaning out Henry, said Henry's driver, and he walked away to Sir Topham Hatt. Soon the sun had set and the rain began to fall, and Edward was beginning to get worried about Henry. Henry does not usually take this long, Rosie. Well, he must be sick or something like that. He could be afraid of the rain again. But he's over that fight. Yes, you're right there. Redwood sighed. Say, Edward, were you whistling and wheezing when you came into the yard this morning? Yeah, I didn't get properly fixed. There's not enough. The parts I need aren't made anymore. No, I'm sorry to hear that, Edward. Yes, I'm sorry about it as well. Oh dear, Edward said. I just feel like at any moment I'll fall apart. Well, it does seem like you will, Edward. Then, as more time went by, Edward began to worry about the passengers. But Edward did not tell Rosie. Edward, are you alright? Yes, Rosie, Edward said. And more time went by, until... Rosie, where does Henry's train go to? Edward said to Rosie. Vickerstown. It stops at Vickerstown and starts here. No stops in between. Thank you, Rosie, Edward said, as he buffered up to the back of the train and rushed forward. Wait, Edward, come back, Rosie said. But Edward did not reply. He raced across the line. Oh, what's happening? Said the coaches. I need you to look at the tracks for me. I'm behind the train, said Edward. Alright, said the coaches, and they watched the tracks for Redwood. Edward was doing Henry's job for him. He knew if Henry wasn't going to come, the passengers wouldn't get to their destination, so he would do it for Henry. Soon Henry saw Edward rushing with his express. Go, Edward! Henry cheered him on, and Edward raced across the tracks, getting to Vickerstown. Edward has had experience with express trains. He had not pulled one in well over 100 years, but he still seemed to have the knack on doing it. Except he had never pushed an express train by himself. This is going to be a challenge, Edward said, as Edward's wheels whirred and rushed over into Henry's tunnel. He hoped for the best, and that he would not explode. "Stay careful, Edward," said his driver. "You don't want to hurt yourself and then have the passengers stranded." "Look, driver," Edward said, "I'm getting over to Vickerstown, even if I explode. I'm not letting these passengers stay where they don't want to stay," Edward said, and he rushed as fast as he could to Vickerstown. The faster he went, the more he whistled and wheezed. He raced by the fields that James had crashed in on his first day crash. As Edward raced over the viaduct, he felt one of his cylinders feel a bit wrong, but he carried on. He knew the passengers had to get to their location. Edward soon came racing by Wellsworth, his station. Boko and Bear were there, and they were confused at first, but cheered him on after they realised what he was doing. But soon Edward came across his first challenge, Gordon's Hill. He struggled to push the coaches up the steep slope, but with enough might he was able to get them up and over. "I got to get these passengers to Vickerstown," he said. And as he was quickly nearing Vickerstown, something unexpected happened. One of his inside cylinders had burst. He was reaching steam. "Ew!" screamed Edward. He thought he had failed the passengers. "There's only one cylinder though," Redwood said. I need to get the passengers to Vickerstown," he said. So as hard as he could, he pushed as much steam into his left cylinder as hard as he could, and soon he was moving. His right cylinder had been broken, but his left one was still in working order. And so Edward carried on with his journey. "I have to get the passengers to Vickerstown," he said. And the engine that he passed was shocked to see Edward pushing an express train. They knew he was a banker for different types of trains, but most of them didn't even know he was once an express engine. And that was what was the biggest shock to them all, seeing Edward push an express train with such skill and precise movements. Edward soon came racing past Grosvenor Gate. That was where the Scarlery Railway was located, and the Scarlery Railway engines saw Edward flying by, and they cheered him on. Edward was wheezing and whistling steam not just from his boiler but from his cylinders. He thought he might explode, but he carried on with the express train. He knew it had to get done. As Edward went on, he knew he had to get the train to Vickerstown. "I'm nearly there, I'm nearly there, I'm nearly there," he said. "Come on, Edward, come on, Edward," the coaches said. "You can do it, you can do it." "I hope I can," said Edward. "I only have one cylinder." But even with one cylinder, Edward worked as hard as he could. "There's only 2 wheels that are in use," he said. He saw the bridge that led up to Vickerstown. Oh, I'm nearly there," Edward said. And soon Vickerstown came into sight. Edward and the passengers cheered, along with the coaches. And as he rushed in, he saw someone he was not expecting to see. "Hello, Edward, I was expecting Henry to be here." "Oh, hello, Flying Scotsman. I did not know you were here when trains were being brought at this time."
Really, Edward? I am. I am the engine that takes its trains from Vickers down to the mainland. When Henry comes, but I see Henry is not here. What's happened? Oh, don't worry, Scotsman. He just had, I don't know why, but it could be because of the rain. That is a good answer, Edward. I heard he was afraid of the rain. Well, that is true, but it could have been also another problem, Edward said. And your second theory, Edward, is correct, said the top of Matt as he walked up. As soon as Henry got his sludge out his tender, as soon as Henry got his sludge out his tender, he went over to Random Docks to collect the flying kipper while you came to do all this, Edward. Oh, okay, sir. I see you are reaching steam. Is it uncontrollably? Yes, sir. I'm progress cylinder. I don't think I could keep on repairing you for every incident you have, Edward. I know, sir, but I think you can replace this inside cylinder. You've given me James's before. I know that, Edward, but they are a little bit too large for you. Don't worry about me, sir. I'm perfectly alright. And I was able to get this train here, even if it was a little late. Well, Edward, I think you deserve a rest. You can head into the Bickerstown sheds if you like. Thank you, sir. Oh dear, Edward said. Sir? Said Edward. Yes, Edward. I think I burst my only cylinder that was in working order. Well, Edward, if that was the case, then I suppose we have to send you back to Craven Gate Works. Yeah, that will be a better option, sir, I think. Well, good luck, Edward, said the Flying Scotsman. You too, Scotsman. That's Hill Gordon, you said hello. I heard Henry told me that he does night hells at Gordon Hats every night, and it sends him crazy, said Flying Scotsman. Laughed Edward. The Flying Scotsman away, said the Flying Scotsman, and he raced off. But as soon as Flying Scotsman left, Edward felt very sad. I think I'll never be able to be repaired again, said Edward. And as the engines were sent to take him to the works, he couldn't help but feel sad.